Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of Hunter Badblood. Hello, everybody in chat. Hi, Raven. Hi, Stacy. Hey, Kurt. Good to see you. And some of our fabulous players are also in chat, which reminds me we should say hi to our fabulous players. Why don't we start with those not in chat? Carly? I haven't seen you say hi in chat, so I'm assuming you're not there. So why don't you tell us who you are first?
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Carly. I'm not in chat. I am also known as Armadillo Dice. I make dice, I play games, I run games, I do things, I exist. And I think we should leave.
And on Fridays you run Daggerheart here on the channel, which is also something everyone should tune in for, because it's a great time. Yeah. And who would you like to popcorn it over to?
Let's popcorn it over to Sid.
It's me. Hi, I'm Sid, and I am in chat. Yeah.
And you're echoing. I have no idea why.
Because I reopened Twitch and this time, the tab wasn't muted this time. Hey, I'm back. I wasn't here for a while, but now I'm back and I'm ready to rumble. Apparently,
Let's hope so.
Always, man. All right, and then I'm gonna popcorn it. I'm gonna popcorn it over to Jason. Let Jason do it.
All right, hey y'all. I'm Jason. I'll be playing Peter tonight. Our eventual little explosives expert. I play games here and on my channel on Twitch. So you can catch me over on Glass Shells at times, playing Diablo or DDO or something else.
Yeah, when I tuned in the other day and you were not playing DDO, I was like, am I on the right channel?
Yeah, I had to try out that new expansion. So.
Nice. And last but not... go ahead.
Yeah, I'll pass it over to Ed.
Hey, my name is Ed. I stream very occasionally as Neuromaster, but more often these days I'm just here on Wanderer's Haven, playing tabletops with these fine fellows and ladies. This evening I'm playing Billy Gray, the ex-cop. Hopefully not in too deep, but we'll see. And really happy to be here. Over to you, Jeremy.
I mean, I'm not sure if being in too deep counts when you're standing in the center of the group of vampire cultists in the middle of the lair by yourself. Well, we'll get to that here in a moment. Hey, I'm Jeremy. You can find me here on this channel most times and out on the social medias at WH Pubs. You can also head over to our YouTube. Link is now in chat. And help us get to our 500 follower goal by the end of the year. That would be awesome. So yeah, let's do a short little recap. Not a whole bunch excitement happened last week. You just kind of moseyed on in, hung out for a bit, had some marshmallows, a couple of beer. No, wait, that wasn't this game. You all were sent by a former colleague of Alex's or Peter's. She had told you that there is a vampire in this bowling alley, this abandoned bowling alley, and you had come here to test out these strange abilities that Sid's character Ray seems to have. After a vampire bit Ray, the vampire spontaneously turned into gooey ash, and you're trying to find out more about that. And so coming here to find the singular weak vampire that you were told was here, you had showed up late afternoon, had a long discussion of tactics and kind of how you wanted to go about this, and finally getting fed up with waiting, Ray had stormed the front of the building. A older woman had stepped out, looking shocked. Ray had punched her squarely in the face, knocking her unconscious. You had taken her, tied her up, and placed her elsewhere to be out of the way. I believe it was Ray, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it should have been Ray and Peter and D had then gone in the front to kind of get a lay of the land, while I'm trying to remember names tonight. It's not happening. Billy and Mari had gone around the back to see if there's any other way in, because you had, with a drone, noticed that there were some collapsed areas and potentially other ways into the building without being noticed. And so yeah, that's totally, if you ever see me glance up, I'm probably looking at people's names on the overlay or I'm checking to make sure everything's running right. So yeah, as the three of you had gone in the front were exploring, you noticed there was a group of people. You were definitely sure that woman that Ray had knocked out was not a vampire. However, you did notice that she had some fake caps on her teeth to make it look like she had fangs. And the three of you had spotted several people bowling in two of the end lanes. Some loud rockabilly music was blasting, and you got the feeling that they were just kind of hanging out. Mari and Billy tried to sneak in the maintenance door, essentially the employee's entrance in the back, and while Mari had managed to do so quite effectively, unfortunately Billy was seen. However, with some amazing rolls, Billy was able to convince two of the who you think are either some kind of weird vampire cultists at this point or potentially ghouls that you were sent here from Alex from Reno. Does that sound correct? I believe that's what it was. And they just seemed to be like, oh yeah, Alex from Reno, like that was a thing. And so Billy is now in the bowling area. You haven't actually started bowling. You've met Bro, who is a very large fellow with some gold-capped vampire fangs. He told you his real name was Tim. The heavy scent of coconut oil sunblock oozing from his skin, you can tell that he's a fellow who spends a lot of time lifting, working out. As three other women and the other fellow... Oh no, I forgot the other fellow's name. I'll give a free advantage to anyone who remembers his name. Anybody write it down?
It started with an A. Does that help?
No, but we'll go with... It can't also be Alex. Maybe it is. Maybe his name was Alex also. However, in the back, Mari had found not only pieces of corpses, but also several boxes that may or may not be makeshift coffins, or places for creatures to hide from the sun. Telling the group that, Ray had decided to go back and check this out as well, sneaking around successfully. He had joined Mari just as the sun was getting right on the horizon. And as
I think we need to be specific about joined Mari. Mari was hidden still and did not make herself known.
That is fair.
Ray. So Ray just came around the back.
That is fair. And approaching this box that you had mentioned, because you had explained how there was like this sense of cold that emanated off of it. There was a stench that clung to it. And as Ray approached it, there was the squeaking of hinges as the sun set, and a long, distorted, pale blue hand with claws wrapped around as the door opened. And that's where we ended. And so Ray, now, there was also a flashback. We're not going to go into that because that was with Ryan's character, and Ryan's not here tonight. So, hi Ryan, we miss you and hope to see you next time. However, Ray, as you're standing here, your hunting knife gripped in your hand, this wave of cold washing over you, you can see the fingers distorted, lengthened, much. It's almost like they have an extra bone in them or something. They're just so long. And it curls around, the door squeaks open, and you can see this arm stretching back into the shadow. But you don't see what's inside. What do you do in this moment?
Sid wants to open the lid. Ray is probably gonna take a step back. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a step back.
Okay.
Yeah, the fingers don't look human, correct? And it's a coffin ish.
They are human-ish, but definitely distorted and strange. And this is definitely some kind of makeshift coffin.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna back up and try to get like in a blind spot ish. So like if they open the lid and sit up, I want to be off to like the back left or right.
And this one was kind of like leaning, and so it was less set up and more like as you were moving back, you see the figure step out. Go ahead and do a dexterity stealth.
Oh shit. Dice.
And while you're rolling that,
Remind me of number, please.
yeah, so you look at your dexterity.
No, the dice. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
the
want
dice.
six and above. Oh, and D10s.
D10s. All right. That's one of those. I'm rolling dexterity stealth, right?
Correct.
And I'm rolling the number of dices that I got for dots.
Correct.
All right, give me a second. I gotta collect.
Absolutely. While you do that, I will explain that this figure steps out. The one extended arm, much longer than the other, which seems twisted and wrapped around itself almost vestigial, shrunken back and kind of up against its body. A well-worn shirt. It was once a nice button down, but now definitely ratty. Can't even tell what its original color is. It's kind of just grayish. These slacks, black for sure, and at feet that are wearing what probably were nice leather shoes, but now are ratty and falling apart. Taloned toes peek out the end of it, and hunched forward with peeling, diseased-looking skin is a heavily bearded face, long, strange, spiky teeth jutting out of the front of its mouth instead of like a typical human's. Its sparse hair on the top of its head seems to be falling out in clumps, and its slightly reddened eyes glances around as it breathes in. What did you get?
I needed 6 and above, right?
Correct.
All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Nice.
Does a 10 get me anything?
A 10 gets you 2, so you have 6
Well,
successes.
Well, 2 10s give you 3, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's not 1 10 gives you 2,
Okay.
it's 2 10s give you
Oh,
3.
right. So, yeah,
All right,
yeah,
I just
my
wanted
bad.
to make sure. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's it. It is. Yeah, 6 successes.
Very nice.
Yeah, 6, 8, 9, 9, 10.
So Mari's watching this creature step out, and she knows that the plan is trying to use Sid as bait, but seeing that Sid goes to hide or whatever,
Tactical retreat. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, she is basically holding an action to if it goes to attack her or Sid, to come in for a nice little punch down at the knees to try and basically knock it
Sure.
over.
Yeah, looking at it, it's you get like this strange flashback to Nightmare Before Christmas. This strange, very tall, very spindly figure, but obviously not quite so family friendly, as it sniffs around and its eyes do dart over as Ray attempts to find a place to hide. However, its smell, you hear it sniffing and it locks right onto where you are, Sid. You're kind of like moving into a place where you think you're hidden, and you just catch its red eyes turn towards you as you lose sight of it, as you place maybe it's another one of those boxes or something between your line of sight and it. Mari, you can see it has...
Well, yeah. Let the story go.
No. What were you thinking?
I was saying I wouldn't try to block my line of sight from it. But I wouldn't try to block it from my line of sight. I try to block me from its line of sight. So I try to, like I said, try to slip more towards the back of the coffin.
Gotcha.
Try to hug the shadows there. That's an attempt, at least.
Yeah. So you feel like you have moved very quietly, yet it turns and you can hear its bones creaking as it wraps itself around the edge of the coffin and looks back at you. Mari, you feel like it sees him, but you're not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to make an aggressive movement or try to put Ray under its spell or something like that, because I know we're here to test his blood or whatever. So it's more of a oh, he barely bit him. Let's get him down.
Totally. Ray, you are standing in the shadows. You can see in the very dim kind of yellowish light from the few bulbs that are still lit back here, more of a silhouette of it as it's glowing, not so much glowing, but almost like that reflectiveness that animals have when headlights shine in their eyes, kind of tracks in your area. And you hear, "Oh, don't be shy. It's going to be fine. Come out."
And I don't know anyone else. I don't know Mari.
Well, you know Mari is back there, but you don't know where she is, as you were not able to spot her.
And do we have any other forms of communication, i.e., okay, we got the earpieces. All right, great.
And just to clarify, I'm pretty sure you all said that you were on an open channel. You were not communicating with a push button or anything like that.
Yeah.
You had just left it open so you could all hear each other.
All right, great. Good, okay. Good to know.
So for those of you who are not back there, obviously there are noises coming through, but why don't you do a check to see if you can figure out what exactly is going on? So we'll do wits and awareness, unless you have an argument for something else.
My argument is I'm back there.
You don't have to roll.
That would be 3 successes for Billy.
Okay.
2 for Peter.
Okay.
Don't forget it's about Diego.
Did we talk about whispering earlier? Did we talk about this? What did you say?
I said don't forget about Diego.
Right, yeah, I just rolled for Diego. Diego's pushed up against the wall. He's got his hand on his gun and that's in his side holster. And he's it looks like he's straining. Peter, you can see him you can see him push the earbud in further, he's trying to hear it, but he can't quite make out what it is. Billy's the only one who gets the feeling you just barely heard the squeaking of hinges, and in the distance you can hear a faint voice that you know is not Ray or Mari's speaking, but you can't make out what it is.
I think this might be where Billy excuses himself to use the restroom.
Okay. How would you do that?
I think Billy would dramatically polish off the last of his Michelob and declare that it is time to drain the lizard.
Okay. As you head towards the bathroom, like you're looking around, you kind of see a small hallway that goes off from the over by the arcade, and very dimly, it's not lit anymore, but you can see there was a restroom sign. So you start heading that way, and you notice that Bro makes a dramatic sigh and then stands up and follows you.
Okay. Do you follow me all the way into the restroom?
Are you doing anything to stop him?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, he will he'll follow you in, and he also steps up to a urinal, and you hear everyone hears actually the sound of Bro relieving himself. What are you doing actually in the restroom?
I think Billy's looking around for exits. He's not going to do anything else at the moment.
Okay.
I think he'll do his business and then wash his hands and then probably head back out towards the cooler again.
Yeah, you look around. There are no windows in the restroom. And even from the outside, you could tell it's pretty much like a big brick build, like just solid. It's made from bricks. There's no windows, like except for in the front entrance area. You do pass by that front entrance, and I feel like you might catch sight of Peter and D, but Bro does not. He seems pretty intent on following you. And so as you kind of go in and do that, and as...
Do I get anything off of his body language? Like why he
Sure.
might be following me?
Why don't you do a wits awareness? Or insight, sorry.
Wits insight, gotcha. Four
Thanks.
successes.
4 successes. You get the feeling that your previous interaction with Bro, there was a little bit of flirting that was going on, and he might be following you to see if it goes anywhere. You don't get the feeling that he's following you to keep an eye on you.
Gotcha. So I'm not seeing malice so much as interest.
Yeah, so like there's like a few beads of sweat drop down like your spine as he follows you in the bathroom, because you're waiting for him to like jump you or something or whatever. And then as he's like peeing, he's standing a little bit further away from the urinal than most people would, and he kind of glances over at you. Then he looks down and he glances back over at you and he winks, and you're pretty sure he was just following you to see what happens. So some time has passed, so we're going to jump over to why don't we go to Alex, to Peter, sorry. Peter, you and Dee are essentially hunkered down with another lady who you had found that was heading out to find out where the other person had gone, the one that Sid knocked out. You knocked this one out, tied her up, stuffed her in the shoe return, and what's Peter up to?
Yeah, so Peter catches Billy heading off to the restroom and the guy following, right?
Yes.
All right. On the monitor, how many more do I see here?
If I remember correctly, there would still be 4 people down in the bowling lanes.
Okay. Are
There's
they
one
bowling
guy
still?
and 3 girls.
Okay.
Yeah, they're having a good time. They're bowling.
All right. I will speak into the earpiece. Hey, D, I think now's a good time to take these other 4 out real quick. This other one's following Billy. Might be a problem.
You see from across your hiding spot and down a little ways as D glances over at you, and he just gives you a single nod, and he pulls his gun out.
Okay.
He
will,
will. Oh, sorry.
okay.
Go ahead. He will ask if you're going in, essentially with intent to kill, or is this a subdual?
These are ghouls, or they're working for this vampire. They don't deserve to live.
He just nods. Actually, go ahead and make a wits insight for me.
Okay. It's inside. Okay. I already feel Mari's disapproval.
In your head, you're already playing through the conversation where Mari's going to be all like, "You did not need to do that."
I mean, I know she wasn't going to say anything while she's hiding from the vampire right now, so... 0 successes.
Oh, 0 successes. Yeah.
Yes.
D nods at you and pulls his handgun out.
Okay. Knowing the bowling alleys are really usually pretty good and soundproof on the outside, at least. You know, I'm expecting the gunshots probably won't be too bad.
Yeah, it's actually...
I'll wait for... Oh, good.
It's actually pretty loud in here. There's like this music that's very loud, and when you had pulled up, you actually didn't hear it. It wasn't until you got like almost to the door that you realized the music was playing inside. And so, yes, absolutely, you feel like it's pretty muffled.
Good. And I was kind of counting on the noise in here. I'm going to wait till someone goes to bowl and pop one off, like
all right
as the pins hit, to try to muffle it, to catch them off guard even more.
So there are 3 ladies and 1 fellow. Which one are you aiming for?
Well, before that, I'll say, hey, Billy, cough if you don't want this to go now, or if you're in trouble. All right. I don't hear a cough back, so yeah, I'll go for the guy.
Okay. Go ahead and do a dexterity firearms for me.
Yep. I'll use one of the auto successes as well.
Okay. By the way, I used one of the auto successes earlier, so on the list, the one from Raven, could you go ahead and take that off? Also, thank you, Stacy, for the other advantage for myself this evening. Helps balance out the pool that the players have been gaining over the weeks.
That'd be 2 successes.
2 successes. Yeah. Unfortunately, with the music and everything, unfortunately for this fellow, he stands up and he looks like he's next. There's a girl in like a black and white checkered miniskirt. She has a black halter top on, and her hair is like kind of done up and very like wild, and you can see the glint of the strobing lights that are around them because they had those like nighttime party lights on, glint in like silver grill that she has in her mouth. And she picks up her return ball to take her second roll, and you wait for it, and he's getting ready to go up and get his own ball to go next, and the shot goes off. Go ahead and roll your damage.
So it's a pistol. Sorry, I haven't actually fired the pistol. It's a +3 damage value on the pistol.
Gotcha.
And then whatever number of extra successes.
You got 3, right?
2.
2? Okay. You see the bullet as he turns goes through his throat, like the hole opens on one end, and for a moment you almost think like it just stopped, and then you see like the mist kind of setting on the other side, and he looks down and he looks a little confused, but then he like starts looking around. That should have dropped him, and he's looking around, and he does start clutching his throat, and it looks like he's trying to talk. We are going to go into initiative here.
Did Ray not get to respond to the creepy guy? Like, tell him to come out?
We are, yeah. So all of this is happening pretty much simultaneously.
I ain't coming out.
What?
He don't even see me. I ain't really there. I'm just a figment of his imagination.
All right. Forgot to do initiative. It's been like since the first episode that we've had to roll initiative. Anyone remember?
It's dexterity.
I think is it just straight dex or is it double dex? We'll just do everyone roll dex check.
Straight dex.
Yes, please.
Okay.
That would be 2 successes for Billy.
All right.
3 for Ray.
2 for Mari.
Who would like to go
I
first?
don't know if holding the action helps at all.
Yeah. Let's see how that plays out. What did Peter get?
0.
0.
He's not the most dexterous guy.
D is right there with you. He only got 1. And we're going to split this into the familiars and the vampire.
Oh. Raven said initiative is dex plus whiz plus 1d10.
Thanks. This is actually pretty quick too, so. Okay, so Mari, you see this occurring. You see him call Ray to come out. When Ray doesn't respond, he steps further out and fully like stands up. You hear the cracking of joints. His spine creaks. There's just this stench that wafts down towards you. And he turns towards Ray and begins to head his direction, but not necessarily with violent intent. It looks like he's just walking, maybe hunched over and heading that direction.
Oh, he's coming toward me?
Yep.
Oh no, I'm not getting caught up in this corner. I'm gonna step out.
Yeah, she's still holding for that first hint, like, because we're here to test the thing,
Yeah.
and everybody wants to test the thing. So that first hint of like the bite goes in, she's like moving to like interrupt
Perfect. I just want to make sure
the
that
bite.
there wasn't something for your held that you wanted to do. So let's. Who wants to go first, Mari or Billy? In because you tied for your initiative.
I'll give it to Mari.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe me just because Sid and I are in the same space.
Perfect. All right, Sid. Ray
Yeah,
sees this fellow coming.
Yeah, I put Stefano away. And I kind of just step out, and say, hey. Sorry about that. Name's Jimmy.
What did you bring me this evening? I don't recognize you.
Yeah. I'm new around here. I was just, getting my bearings, walking around. I kind of stumbled in here, so I didn't really bring anything. But I'll get out of here. And I'm just kind of like with my back to like the wall, like facing him, and just kind of skirting around so I can get towards the exit.
Totally.
So yeah, like I said, sorry for interrupting your rest or whatever, but yeah, I didn't bring anything, no gifts or anything, unfortunately. So I'll just get out of here.
Are you heading towards where Mari is hidden, or are you heading? Essentially, there was a door on either end.
Well, there's a door on either side.
Right.
Oh, there's a door on either side. Which door did I come through?
The one on the far side. So there's one that's near the coffin that he came out of, and then there's one on the further side away.
Right. And so you came from the furthest.
I snuck around back, came through the furthest one.
But now the other one is technically closer to you now. So
yeah, predicament. So,
however, I will point out that one is also well within sight of the people in the bowling alley.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Which one is Mari closest?
I'm positioned in the middle of the room right now.
Yeah,
so
all right. I'm just going through the
equidistant.
door. Yeah, I'm going back through the door I came out of.
As you head that direction, you
I'm not
see
turning
this
my back
fellow
toward this.
takes a big sniff, and he kind of cocks his head, and you actually notice his pupils, the reflection gets wider.
Okay. All right. So
And he kind of leans back and closes his eyes, and he says, "You smell rapturous."
I've been told a few times. Yeah. Yeah. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that one, I had 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's kind of weird that it happened twice. So.
And as his head drops back down to look at you and is tilted slightly, you do notice a little bit of spittle begin to kind of ooze out of his mouth. He starts kind of like twitching and takes a step forward, and that'll be the end of your turn. You're essentially moved to the door.
That's fine. Just one last question. Besides Stefania, what other weapons do I have on my person? Just a knife?
No, I think you had the opportunity to get like a pistol.
Yeah, if you wanted a firearm, you would have had one of those too.
Yeah, okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure what I'm working with.
And you probably would have had a stake as well. I think we all have
Mr. Pointies.
stake.
Well, I have Stefania, so I don't know if I would have grabbed that, but that's fair.
Okay.
Might have 1 or 2. All right. Just wanted to see what I'm working with.
Samara, you're not really sure what you're seeing here.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm gonna continue to tuck into my like space and be ready to go for the knees when an attack happens, or if they both like exit the space, sneak up like to the door to try keep a line of sight.
Okay.
So she's still just she's like frozen and is just doing her best to not draw
Sure.
attention.
I'll say this is very subtle as I can. I'm starting to get in a position where I can either attack and or defend myself, because I've already seen the hungry eyes. I know what's going on. So it's very subtle, but the posture has changed a little bit, and just so that can be known, for future turns for Mari.
Yeah.
Excellent. So
But yeah, her first plan is to like literally go for the knees to try and drop him so that he's not as accessible to the necks
totally.
of the peoples.
I feel like I also missed pointing out that the two of you do hear the report of Peter's gun go off?
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
ask that, but then the
Okay,
guy wants
yeah.
to bite me. So
Yeah, absolutely. So that does happen, but you don't see the vampire react. It didn't seem to notice. It seemed to very honed in on Ray. However, Billy, in the bathroom, you do hear this report go off in one of your ears. It's very loud. What do you do?
Now, do I only hear it coming through my headset
Yes.
or my earpiece, or do I hear it coming through the bathroom door as well?
No, it's... If it was audible through the door, you missed it, or it was just in time with the other noises, something.
Okay. I think Billy's goal would be to head out of the bathroom, but to, like, what he really wants is for Bro to be heading out ahead of him.
Okay.
You know, even a couple of paces so
Mhm.
that his eyes aren't on him for a second, you know. So whether that's taking a minute to like really wash his hands or, you know, something like that.
Right.
He wants to be able to get the drop on Bro because Bro's looking the other way.
Totally. Why don't we call this a manipulation subterfuge?
Manipulation subterfuge. Four successes.
Nice. I don't think I can beat that. Unless I crit, which I did not. You notice as Bro kind of walks over, you're washing your hands, starts washing his hands, he looks over at you. You're like, and that kind of energy that he's like, that expectant energy kind of drains away, and he's like, cool, so I'm gonna go back out, and I know my turn's coming up here soon. And he will dry his hands off and start heading out the door.
When he is, you know, probably nearing the door, I am going to open my fanny pack, unzip that, draw, and fire the pistol at him.
All right, let's do a dex stealth to see if you can unzip the fanny pack quietly.
Right. Let's see. Dex. All right, and could I burn an advantage
You can.
on that to re-roll one?
Yeah, we're just
I think
counting
the
them as
advantages are we've just been treating
Yeah,
as
auto
auto
success.
auto
successes.
successes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that would be 2 successes then.
So, Bro gets to the door, starts to open it. Even though it is loud out there, in here, there's no speaker. And so you very cautiously try to pull that zipper open, but it's just like zip, that grinding sound of the zipper. And as Bro begins to turn around, you can see this like satisfied smile on his face because other things make zipper noises too.
He's like, I'm gonna get to see this guy's piece.
And he turns and he sees your piece being pulled out, and he's like, oh, are you going to shoot, Bro? All right, go ahead and roll it.
I hope his last words are, bro.
Bro.
3 successes.
I don't know if I wanted to use that advantage. I'm going to roll my yes, no, maybe die to see if I don't use the advantage. All right. So you beat him by 1. So 1 plus your damage. So was it 3 for handguns?
For medium.
I think medium was that a +2?
No,
What's
medium's
that?
+3.
Medium's +3. All right.
Yeah, so a 9mm.
Yep, which is exactly what I am carrying.
So there's a bit of a rush as you realize you're not going to get the drop on Bro. Where do you shoot Bro?
Center mass.
What's that?
Center mass.
Center mass. You see blood spray on the door as it closes behind, like he just barely kind of cracked it open, and as it closes you see it spray out behind him. He kind of stumbles forward and puts his hand down on the countertop. It slips as it's wet, a little soapy water from washing your hands, and he goes to one knee. He coughs, some blood comes up. He's still breathing, he's still alive, but he is messed up. And it is now the familiar's turn. Outside, actually, let's just stay in this scene. He struggles to stand up, he reaches for you. He's gonna try and grab you, and like he's trying to grab your gun arm and the gun. So we're gonna have you do a... Sorry, I clicked the wrong button and my character sheet went away. How do you want to respond to that? Because technically you can attack and return.
Yeah, if he's getting closer, I'm gonna keep pulling that trigger until till I either can't stay on target or he stops moving.
Perfect. So you're going to roll your dexterity and firearms again against his strength and brawl.
Ooh, that is only 2 successes for me.
He got 5, so he does successfully like bat the gun away, and he has a hold of you. He can't seem to get his hand to let go as he's pushing the gun away. He's surprisingly strong, but you do get the feeling he is human. He isn't bolstered by anything. And that's going to be his turn. Back in the alleyway, or in the bowling alley. Peter, you see the fellow you shot. He's grabbing his throat. He's trying to say something. The woman who just bowled has turned around and is jumping up and down excitedly. You notice that all of her pins are laying down. And then her face kind of goes a little strange as she's looking at what's going on. And she runs up and she's like shouting. It's hard to make out because the music's so loud. She's shouting at the people. And the other 2 women stand up and they come over and they're confused, and then one grabs like a jacket and holds it up, and they start looking around. You notice one of the women that was sitting, not the one who was bowling, she's kind of a strawberry blonde woman. Hard to gauge her age. She has some pretty heavy makeup on, kind of punk rock style. She has some leather bracelets with spikes and a big like safety pin, like an unrealistically sized safety pin through her nose. She goes and she's like looking around, and you see this glint in her eye as her eyes are scanning for you, and you kind of duck back around. And then you hear something smash. It sounds like wood breaking and scattering, but not looking, unless you would like to be watching, but you're gonna more likely be seen. Which would you rather do?
No, I wanted to keep my edge and try to catch them
Totally.
off guard a second time.
You're not totally sure what's going on.
And I'm assuming it's not visible on the monitor.
Glancing over at the monitor, you see that the 2 women, one that was sitting and the one that was bowling, are still like holding the jacket to the guy's throat. He's talking to them or shouting. He looks angry. You don't see the other woman, we'll call her safety pin, You don't see safety pin, but you see bowling balls kind of rolling around. There was like a short wall, like a half wall on one side, had bowling balls stored in it, but it kind of separates. You have to pass it to go down into the bowling alley. Looks like it's broken. Pieces of it are laying around.
Okay.
Thanks for the raid. Welcome in. Good to see you, Guild Superior. D. You have a pretty straight line of sight at D. He's hidden against this, like, the opposite wall from you, but is using the same wall as cover.
Okay.
He kind of glances up, like, raises himself up, and then drops back down. He pulls his gun out and he kind of leans over to the side. And you notice his gun is shaking. And then he pulls the trigger and you hear the report. It's quite loud where you are. You're not really sure. You don't hear anything. You didn't hear it hit anything. But as he dodges back, you do notice sweat moving down his cheek. What do you do, Peter?
To use him as bait or not? These other ones seem like they're off guard, so at this point that's blown. They're going to be looking for us anyway, so we might as well take them down quick. So he'll try to take a shot on. He'll pop out, take a shot on one of somebody he can see.
As you pop up, you see heading in your direction, not necessarily at you, but in your direction, this strawberry blonde fury, just like tearing through tables and chairs, looking for somebody that's hiding over there.
Is she moving towards D effectively?
Kind of towards both of you. She's heading.
Yeah.
But essentially, the only way to go from there is towards you, and so she's just like ripping everything out of the way. You can see the wall, that half wall that she went through. There's definitely something about her that is not typical.
No. Yeah.
You notice the other two are still holding up the. I'm going to just see if that fellow, because he is looking for you. I'm going to see if he notices you. Are you trying to be stealthy about this?
Oh yeah, I was trying to keep him off guard to get another kind of off-guard shot on him.
Go ahead and do dex stealth to see how sneaky you are about it.
Probably not great. One success. I really need a WD-40 these wheels.
Right? Well, it's weird because it's probably not the sound this time, but there's probably enough glint off the metal of your wheelchair as you kind of pull around and you just see he's scanning and his eyes lock on you. Are you shooting him or someone else?
No, he's laying on the ground at the moment, right?
No, he's standing. Yeah, he's still standing.
Oh, okay. I thought they had laid him on the ground. My bad. No, the big threat that's ripping through walls and everything else that's coming towards me. Are we able to spend more than one of these on successes?
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna line up a shot here.
Okay.
Just like this thing, whatever's coming for me, a little bit terrifying. So I'm gonna spend 3, I think. On this.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's essentially just
Wow.
there is no retaliation. She's just dodging. So whatever you get versus her, amazing roll of 1 success.
Well, I got 6 successes.
Nice. So 5
With the
plus 3.
3+3, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, so 3 plus 3, 6.
Oh no, I mean, sorry, 5+3. Yeah, five
Okay.
over. Sorry.
It goes right through her eye. Like, you lined it up, took a breath, despite knowing that you've been seen, getting this. Sorry, the word just jumped out of my head. Threat. Just getting this threat eliminated first is the most important thing. You see D jump as the gun goes off. And then she just hits the ground, kind of skids, knocking some more chairs aside. Do you stay where you are?
Oh yeah, at this point, I've been seen. I popped out to shoot her, and I took my time lining that one up. I'm like pointing to D and pointing to them, going at the gun, like freaking fire, man.
Perfect. In the back, you do hear the report of a gun, and then shortly thereafter, another. It's not covered by the sound of the music or the pins crashing. The vampire's head tilts slightly, but its eyes never leaves you. Like it gets almost to the point where it shouldn't be able to see you because it's tilted its head so far, but its eyes are still turning to face you. And then it looks at you again, and a big strand of drool drips off of its lip, and it takes a step towards you. That very weird elongated arm reaching out towards you. We're going to call this an aggressive move if Mari wants to try and knock it over.
Yeah, so I think she will, like, start her move because now, he's a little bit of a ways away in the hope that she'll be able to take him out after he's, like, made that initial contact.
So, Sid D sees this coming, not knowing that Mari is waiting to knock this creature over once it bites you. What are you going to do? Are you going to wait for it to bite you, knowing that that's kind of why you're here, but at the same time, you have to stand here and let this thing bite you? So, is it what you want to do?
You said I see Mari coming, right?
No, you do not see this.
Oh, I don't?
Yeah.
Not yet.
All right,
Yeah.
so okay. I kind of don't want to let it bite me. I know that's why we're here, but if you wanted to figure out if you were bulletproof, would you just let somebody shoot you, stand there and let them shoot? Not out. So I kind of don't want them to bite me. So I'm gonna fight back a little bit, and if I get bit, I guess we accomplished what we came here for. But I don't want to. I don't want to be bitten.
Totally. So it's going to try and grab you and bite. It's going to try and grab you and bite you. It's like this strange cold pushes forward from it, and you can see the hunger just like setting in on its face, and it rattles you. You know why you were here, but you're just like, no. Do you want to dodge, or are you gonna stab back?
I want to. If it's lunging forward trying to grab me, I'm gonna try to dodge out of the way, get a better position, and then stab. So dodge, then stab.
So on your turn, you'll be able to stab. So if you dodge now, you can stab on your turn, which is next. So we'll have you roll dex, but you're gonna roll twice the number of dice.
I need more dice. I'm rolling dex, correct?
Yeah. So like if you have
Dex
2
times
decks,
2.
you'll roll 4. If you have 3 decks, you roll 6. And it is going to do strength and brawl.
Run as fast as you can. Can't catch me. You said dex as those numbers is 2.
And I am going to spend my auto success from Stacy's if you want to take that off the list.
I will.
Because why not?
How many auto successes we have? I think I'm gonna spend one because I don't want to get bitten. So I have 1 success, right?
Correct.
Ha! That is
Updated.
2 tens. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's 3
That's
from the
3.
2 tens.
4, 5, 6. What's that? All right. So 3, 5, 6. 6 successes.
Nice.
Versus his 6 successes. You two just dance around each other. Its hand comes within a fraction of an inch from you. You can feel the cold swipe past you. And then, Mara, you see him like dance off to the side. That was
I'm still going in to take out his knees.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
go
I
ahead
didn't
and
stop my movement. Like, the fact that Sid dodged out of the way tells me that I was right, and this was a bad idea.
fair.
So I'm still fully gonna take out this vampire's knees.
Yeah,
like, I
this thing
started
is
my movement.
creepy.
Nice.
Yeah, this thing is
Yeah.
creepy. If it was a regular vampire, maybe, if it looked all normal. This thing's weird.
If it
Anyways,
was like, Brad Pitt
she's
vampire, it'd
feeling
be fine,
very
but
vindicated right now, so she's absolutely continuing with her held
Totally.
attack.
We're gonna call this strength. I will give you
Brawl?
either brawl or athletics, because you're not like trying to
Brawl.
damage it. You're just trying to knock it over.
Brawl, because I have fucking up vampires as one of my perks.
Totally.
Okay. 5 successes.
As you hit its legs, it's surprisingly sturdy, but barely. You beat it by 1. You hit it and you're like it stops you, but you dig in your heels and you push, and you just manage to knock its balance off, and you feel it go over you. It's tall enough, and you hear the like crunching sound of its spine hit the ground behind you.
Yeah, well, that was my held action, so
Yeah.
I can't do anything else. It's Sid's turn, I think.
As you kind of you're able to like kind of start turning, and you see it's like reaching up that smaller kind of deformed, both of its hands are misshapen, but the one that's kind of twisted in on itself seems to like have been reaching to grab like the edge of one of the boxes nearby to hold, to catch itself. It hits the ground. D, what do you do?
Who?
It's
Not D,
it's Ray.
sorry, Sid.
I'm
Ray.
looking at Ray and I'm like, see? Bad idea.
That wasn't so much of a bad idea. Anyway, it's on the floor, right?
It is.
Yeah, I baseball slide up to it and just stab him.
Okay. Go ahead
And
and
just like run into the base and hit the slide and kind of get to a knee and stab down.
perfect. So that is going to be your strength and melee.
Strength and melee.
And it is, it is going to try and grab you back.
Yeah, it's gonna grab hot steel. That's an 8,
Come on, dice, give me some crits.
4, 5.
We prefer
5 successes.
5 successes versus its 1 success. So you're going to deal how much damage?
It's a big ass knife. I don't know how much damage a big ass knife deals.
It's not a switchblade. Is it heavy melee or?
It's a hunting
Probably
knife,
medium.
so medium.
Probably
yeah.
medium melee.
Yeah, it's not like a machete.
Given that a
Right.
steel
Yeah.
beam is heavy melee, it's
Right.
probably medium.
Yeah, they don't really list a medium melee, so it's either +2, I guess.
Sure.
That's fine.
Light piercing compared to heavy melee, it goes from +2 to +3.
The knife bites into it. As it does so, rather than blood spurting out, cold and
Cold
stench. Yeah, cold beer. Michelob Light just starts spewing everywhere. No, as you stab it, a sense of cold just washes out from it. Your arm goes a little numb, and this repulsive smell just fills your nose. I am going... Are we sponsored yet? Soon. Come on, Michelob, pick it up. I'm going to have you do a stamina save. So you're going to just do double your stamina roll.
Double stamina. That and then that. As I stab into it. Probably not much of a bad idea, but I didn't know this was included in low-level vampire hunting.
This is why I wanted recon.
Yeah, this doesn't look low level to me at all. Wow.
Because imagine if I had snuck in here and found the coffin and then we just left.
I mean, half of that was the case.
Successes. 3 successes.
3 successes. You managed to like kind of swallow it down. There's
exhale.
Yeah. You're breathing through your mouth.
Oh, it's bad.
That was your turn, Mari. You spin around.
Yeah, I spin around and seeing how Ray baseball slid and like stabbed him in the chest. Mari's going to basically move around to be at the head of the creature and just give it like a strike, like a kick to the temple.
Okay.
To the noggin.
Go ahead and do your brawl strength.
Yeah. Oh, lost a dice.
Well, it's broken now.
1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 6. Yeah, that was 7 successes.
Wow, nice. What damage does your unarmed do?
Well, they're silvered brass knuckles.
Right.
So brass knuckles do a +1, but I don't know if the silver does anything.
Okay. As the metal bites into its head, your head striking its head, right? You don't notice that there's any extra effect from the silver. However, you do hear a crunching of bone. Sorry, hang on one sec. Okay. It is still moving as we head back into the front of the bowling alley.
Oh, I turn and look at Ray, and I'm like, so you're gonna dribble blood on this guy or what?
Your hand is cut open.
Then we can cut back to the
Right.
to the bowling alley.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
In the restroom, Billy, you're struggling. Your gun is being held. It's really like your hand and your wrist is being held by this guy. His obvious strength is mortal, but is also made from, hours and hours of lifting weights and stuff. And you're not out of shape by any means, but this guy is quite strong as he's forcing the gun away from you and trying to stand up as red just continues to stain his tank top. What do you do?
I think my priority is trying to retain or at least like regain control of my firearm. And if I can, then, shoot him with it. But yeah, priority 1 is trying to get control of that hand or that gun again.
So, just to clarify, he only really has your wrist and part of your hand. You technically could take the gun out of your hand with your other hand.
Shoot with your offhand.
Okay. So I think probably what I want to do is, I want to really give him a good run for his money, just, pushing against him. I know this guy is strong. He's built, like he works out, right? But I still have all my blood on the inside, and him less so with every passing heartbeat.
Right.
And then I think what I want to do is I want to try to headbutt him, and when he's dazed, switch the gun into my other hand.
Okay. Go ahead and do a brawl strength. He is going to so essentially he's going to try and rip the gun out of your hand as you're doing this, so he's going to do a brawl strength.
All right, and you said 2 10s is a crit?
Yeah, and so it's 3 successes.
Okay, so that's 3 successes.
Okay. And I'm going to remove a die from him because he is bleeding out and weakening. And you said 3 successes?
3.
Yeah, easily. You headbutt him. He's like reaching up with his other hand. He slips a little bit as he moves. You easily just reach in and headbutt him as his nose crunches and he begins to fall back. He actually lets go of your arm so you can shoot with your main hand if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to put at least 2 more in his chest and 1 in his head if he doesn't get the picture.
Go ahead and roll your firearms and dex.
All right. Only 2 successes on that one.
All you needed. As he hits the ground, you pull the trigger. There's a flash of light, the thundering crack of the gun, and you see the spray of blood and brain matter essentially as just before he hits the ground and then slides across it, bumps against the door, and is not moving.
Okay. What did you say earlier about exits?
So the only exit that you know of that's closest to you is the front door. Mm-hmm. You could go back down into the bowling lanes, and there was the door that you snuck into.
All right. I think I'm just gonna take a minute to just hang tight, reload, and talking into my comms. 1 down in the bathroom. What's going on?
1 down out here, 1 injured, 2 still up, uninjured.
You would have heard me ask Ray if we should drip blood on this thing.
You would have.
Not a normal vamp. Not low level at all, is what you hear from Ray.
Yes, they already said that.
He's just repeating it.
Yeah.
The familiars. So there are 2 ladies and a fellow left. The fellow definitely saw you as you shot at the safety pin. As you took out safety pin, did you dodge back after that, or are you still out in the open?
No, the amount of time it took him to line that up, because he's not a really good shot, so he spent there just kind of getting it all lined up to get a good shot on safety pin.
So you glance over then, and you see the guy, and he kind of roughly pushes the ladies out of the way and begins like moving around the seats that they were in, starts climbing towards the stairs. He's moving a little groggily, and he's still holding his throat, but you notice that the pumping spray has slowed, and he's still moving. He definitely has some bolstering that has happened there from somebody, and he's going to head towards you. He picks up a bowling ball and is going to throw it at you.
Okay.
I mean, valid.
Yeah.
So we're going to call this, we're going to call it strength, not dex. And there isn't like a thrown weapon thing, is there? I just don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Are you?
I'd do like athletics or.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
athletics.
athletics.
His brawl and his athletics are actually the same. So I did whichever one you would like me to have done. How are you dealing with this? Are you dodging out of the way? Are you shooting back? Are you...
Oh, I try to get the heck out of the way if I can.
Okay.
I don't want to get a bowling ball to the brain.
So you're going to take your dex, roll it twice. Let me know
Okay.
how many successes you get.
That would be 2 dice.
Oh,
Dex is real high.
I'm not
Hey,
saying...
that's 1 success.
I'm not saying that you cannot succeed at this if you don't use some of these advantages that you've been given, but
Yeah, I figured I'm not going to succeed well, but I'll use one of them.
okay.
I don't want to burn everybody's pool on myself.
That's what the pool's for. So that gives you 2 successes.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna call this a 2. You're gonna take 2 damage as this bowling ball actually hits you in the shoulder. Doesn't quite, like, you could tell you aimed for your head, but you like rolled out of the way just enough and it glances off your shoulder. Hurts. You felt a crunch deep inside your shoulder, but you're not really sure if it's broken or not.
I'm assuming this is not aggravated damage.
It is not.
Okay, so I cut that in half.
You your vision's kind of full of this fellow heading towards you, but you see movement behind, and it looks like the ladies that were with him are moving up behind him, but aren't moving as quickly. It's almost like they stopped to get something.
Okay.
And it's D's turn. D stands up, knowing that the shit has hit the fan. He looks at all of them. He's going to aim his pistol at the fellow who just threw the bowling ball. Oh my god. 3 10s. So that's 5 successes? 4
3 tends
successes.
to be 4 successes.
Okay, so 4 successes and an 8 with another success against his dodging.
Nice.
He also got a crit, but so 3. So he's gonna take 2, 4. You're looking as he's like, he starts to raise his hand and he's saying something at you. You just can't hear it because it's so loud, and he's just yelling and like spit's flying, and then all of a sudden his eye just evaporates and you see like spray come out the back of his head, and he looks confused for a couple seconds and then crumples to the floor. And standing behind him, the one woman who is bowling in the like checkered mini skirt, it just looks shocked, and she has like a stiletto in her hand, but she's also just covered in gore.
Sure.
And it is your turn.
I mean, I probably got knocked back. I roll a little bit back forward after that impact pushed me back, and like shakily try to take a shot at one of those.
Sure. Just to clarify, stiletto, knife, or shoe? Both.
Yeah. Center mass, 1 success.
She actually got 2 successes. I was not
Alright.
expecting that. She dodges out of the way. Anything else? You gonna stay there?
I'll roll back. Well, no, they're coming at me with melee weapons, so I'll stay where I can see them.
Okay. In the back, the vampire begins to ooze. At first you think it's melting, and then you notice that it's almost like the shadow that you're all kind of standing in is consuming it. And bits of it flake off and disperse until it's no longer there. You're all staring down, or the two of you, Ray and Mari, you're staring down at where it was. And Mari, the first thing that crosses your mind is, did I miss him spraying blood on it or something? Like, I don't think I missed it. Until that sense of cold is replaced behind you somewhere. Ray. It's disappeared. You don't see it. But that cold that has lingered in the back of this mechanical room is moved rather than disappeared. What do you do?
Yeah, Mari, I don't think we should stay here any longer.
Obviously.
Yeah, shit's going down. This thing evaporated. Let's regroup.
Out the back or through the alley?
Through the alley, they're going batshit crazy up front, so might as well. There's no more sneaking around. Let's just hop right into it.
She gives a nod.
Alright, so you're gonna head down the length of this mechanical room for the door that leads into the alley you came in, Mari?
It's not my turn.
But
Yeah.
is that the agreement that I'm understanding?
Well, the agreement is that we're going to move into the alley. Mari's plan is she's going to slip through one of the open bowling alley
Gotcha.
like, gear sets, but that's on her turn.
Okay.
She's
So-
agreed to the fact that we're going to move.
Yeah.
And depending on where Sid ends up, or Ray ends up, Mari will either follow or slip through one of the gates.
Yeah, the quickest way to get from right here to up there is where I'm headed. Especially with this, the cold didn't disappear; it just moved. So that means it's lingering and it's somewhere here. So I just wanna,
Behind me.
yeah. Let's move away from that.
So are you
Yeah.
then running for the back door, Ray?
Is that the closest? I'm trying to.
It's actually
In
the
my mind's-
furthest.
Yeah, in my mind's eye, I'm trying to figure out the fastest way to get to the front of the bowling alley. Where
Okay.
everyone else is.
So, from where you are, about 15 feet behind you and down like a little set of stairs is a door similar to the one that you came in to get into this mechanical room, but on the opposite end. You know that if you go out that side, the people that were bowling, that you're all pretty sure were like in league with the vampires or something, are only like 2 lanes away from that. So it's like a length of a bowling lane, a couple over, is where they were. You have heard shit going down out there, however, so you're not sure where they are at this point. You might be completely unseen going out that door.
I'm not too worried about being seen or not, because they're already in a fight basically. So what's 2 more people? I'm trying to get as close within eye line and eye shot of the rest of the team.
Totally. Okay, so you kind of take a few steps back and then just turn and book it for that door. You open it. Outside, there's just like disco lights and strobes and blacklight and stuff going. There's this booming music. You can see barely the corpse of one of the fellows that you had seen earlier, the smaller guy. You're not sure where the bigger guy is, but if what you were listening to in your earpiece was right, he's probably the guy in the bathroom. You can see the destruction wrought by the woman who ran through the wall, but you don't see her because she's there's stuff in between. And then you see two figures moving towards Peter, who is up by the shoe return. Standing in the shoe return is D, who's pointing a gun pretty much in your direction, but in between the two of you are those two ladies.
And all right. So I see Peter, I see D, Billy's in the bathroom. So I want to continue running, but at an angle, so I'm not in line with these, with D.
Totally.
Yeah, and then I probably would shoot. Yeah, try to get at an angle so I'm not aiming a gun towards D or Peter, and see if I could, shoot at if I can. If I still have that in my action economy to, shoot.
There's the clown car. If
Yeah,
you don't,
every day. Every day.
make
at
sure
this
you tune in
time.
on Friday nights when we play Daggerheart, just to make sure you hear that clown car.
Right there. That one.
Perfect timing.
Every day.
So Ray, outside you hear, oh, that's an ice cream truck. It's weird because it's like, it must be going right by the building.
So yeah, I run out. I'm gonna shoot if I'm allowed. I'm gonna shoot after those one of those that are running towards the shoe, Peter and the shoe return.
It's probably a little far for you to be able to do both. And if you don't want the chance to hit Peter and Ray, sorry, not Ray, D, you'll probably want to shoot next time. So you can
That's fine.
So you book it down. Essentially, you follow the aisle that goes to the door you came out of because it's moving you directly out of the line of fire.
Yeah,
Mari.
I try to run out, and then when I run out, I yell, "This was a bad idea, bad plan, bad plan."
Mari rolls her eyes and is gonna slip out through the closest open, bowling alley.
So you can see that the belts are running on the closest two, but you also notice that one of them, the pins are actually still just kind of like waiting for the drop to come down. And you can see the ball is like kind of stuck in its return, like it's gotten jammed there. Or you can head around that and go through one of the others that has...
Yeah, so I think he appeared behind me, or I felt the cold behind me, so I'm gonna move forward to the closest empty, like non-running lane.
Perfect.
And then slip up there.
As you pull yourself out of the shadow, you can see Ray running down that... It's not one of the bowling alleys, sorry, the little like side alley there. You can see D standing there pointing a gun at two women. You actually haven't seen any of these people yet, so you see these two women. One has a glinting knife in her hand, the other not really sure if she has a weapon or not. You don't see the body from your angle, but you do see the destruction wrought from what sounded like somebody running through that wall earlier. What do you do?
She's gonna move up. She's standing on the bully lanes now, and she'll pull out one of her like small throwing daggers that she has and aim for like the hand of the woman that's holding a dagger to like try and make her drop her
Gotcha.
weapon.
Because you actually had less of a distance to move, I can't remember if there are... I know there has to be distance restrictions on throwing weapons, but there's not like a disadvantage or anything, right? I don't recall any. Like if you're a certain distance away, compare like D&D 2060, anything like that. I don't remember.
I think
like
it's that. I haven't read anything, but I think it's on you, and you think how far I can throw a throwing dagger. It's not like I'm trying to throw a broadsword. They are throwing daggers.
Right. So go ahead and roll your dexterity. We're gonna call it firearms, I guess, or
Firearms?
Or athletics?
I mean,
Let's do
my
athletics.
athletics is a little better.
Yeah, let's do that. Almost thought I got a crit
okay.
there. I was wrong.
I'm gonna take one of those successes.
Okay.
That'll be 5 successes.
You easily skewer this lady's hand. She drops the stiletto that she's holding and grabs her hand with her free hand and like glances over in your direction until her eyes lock on you, and she's just kind of like shocked and like wincing in pain. That's her reaction. And that should be your turn.
Yeah, that's my turn. I'm just standing in the bowling lanes and I threw a dagger or I threw a knife.
Perfect. So you gave her your knife in exchange for her knife.
Yeah, but I mean, it's inside her,
Right.
so she will have to pull it out and maybe start bleeding out if she does that.
Sharing is caring.
Right. In the bathroom, Billy, Rose, one eye, single tear drips down as it just seems to stare at you. What do you do?
Probably try not to look at the man that he just killed all that hard. Billy's gonna head over to the bathroom door and just sort of have just a little bit of a peek outside. What do I see?
You kind of have to move him out of the way. There's a bit of a struggle as you push the door open, shoving Bro out of the way, and you look over. The music's still blaring, but you see Dee is now standing, his back to you. On the other side of him, you can see a woman clutching her hand and staring at the bowling alley, which makes you glance over. You see Mari standing there, still like hand extended from her throw. You do see another woman that has a very small pistol in her hand as she begins to like raise it up and is very, very shaky with it. Like she's just kind of waving it in Peter and Dee's direction, you think, or maybe that concession booth over there or the ceiling. You're not really sure what she's pointing at. And I feel like you would catch a glimpse of Ray as he's running down that side ramp to get to the front of the building.
Does Ray look like he's part of the fight, or is he just going flat out to leave this place?
What kind of energy is Ray giving off at the moment?
Well, Ray has been saying bad idea
Right.
in the
You know,
comms.
yeah, bad idea. Guns out. Should have did recon. So yeah, not trying to get out, but you know, not as calm and collected as one can be in this situation, while running away from not a level 1 vampire. And body language, I'm in the fight. I'm just saying that this was not really thought out well. That's all I'm saying in the comms. This wasn't really thought out all that well.
Now-
Yeah, we were trying to form a plan when you ran inside.
Yeah, I don't know who allowed that to happen. So yeah, but yeah, you can see that I'm getting in position to fire, guns out, and I'm skirting around and raising the weapon, bullet time, raising pistol towards those two going after D. But
So it's
also saying this was not thought out well.
so somewhat tactical and not a full retreat.
Yeah, it's not a retreat. Just relocating. Gotta relocate.
Those two that you were describing, are they the only two ghouls or baddies that I see?
You don't see anyone else.
Okay. How close are they together?
pretty close. They could probably reach out and touch one another.
Okay. I'm gonna close the door real quick and say very clearly for the benefit of the comms. All right, I'm flashing those two idiots and pulling one of my flashbangs out of my pack and lobbing it straight towards the lady with the knife in her hand and the lady trying to figure out how to take the safety off.
Nice. So you are going to do let's call it strength athletics as you chuck it their direction. I'm going to say that with the heads up, those of you who are in its vicinity have time to close your eyes knowing it's coming, so I'm not going to have you do any kind of roll to react to it.
And that is just a single success for Billy.
The lady who's trying to aim her gun, and Peter, you've noticed as she's kind of come up behind the other lady that had the knife, that she has one. Suddenly, like, she actually kind of clocks herself in the face with her gun as she reacts to being, she like brings both her hands up, and you like hear, even though it's so loud in here, you hear the metal of the gun bounce off her skull.
Impressive.
The lady with the knife in her hand, not the one she's holding, but the knife that's in her hand, actually was looking not enough at what was going on and either blinked or something, just enough to not be blinded by the flashbang. We have one blinded lady and one not.
I think
The
having
blinded lady is the one with the gun.
Yeah.
Very true.
having that out
Try to make it more dangerous.
I think Billy's gonna try to run to like a corner or a pillar or some location where he can get like a decent line of sight or some crossfire on these two,
Sure.
and sort of just get ready for what comes next.
So you move out of the bathroom and you kind of take a few steps to your left, and you're heading that way, and there's some pinball machines that are set out at the edge of the arcade, as you kind of duck down behind them. And as that happens, it is their turn.
Wait, right before that. Not behind the Galaga box.
That poor lady, she was just here to do some bowling. She came on the wrong night. She just happened to have her Derringer in her pocket. No, she actually drops the gun, and she's like rubbing her eyes trying to see and kind of walking around blindly. That's her turn. The lady with the knife in her hand, she reaches up and she's going to try and pull it out. I'm going to make her do a check for this.
Yeah, it is not easy to pull a knife.
Right. She fails. And so with a shriek of rage, she starts running at Mari. And she just has like the hand in, like the knife in her hand, kind of like raised up like she's going to slap you. She's not going to get there. It's too far for her because she took time to try and remove the knife. D was like started aiming at the lady with the gun, and then decides to instead aim at the lady who's running at Mari. Versus her dex. You hear the gun go off, and whether or not she dodged out of the way or it was just her running, his shot goes wide. Peter.
Yeah, Peter's not above shooting someone that's blinded. I would rather take her out before she picks up the gun. Plus, I know Maria can handle herself, so... 3 successes.
3 successes. So you do 5 points of damage to her, which shockingly takes this lady out. As she slowly begins to rub one eye clear, she opens it. You realize her eye is like startlingly blue just as she like looks down, and like blood starts seeping out of her throat where you shot her, and she collapses. Anything else there, Peter?
Let's see. We only got 1 target left that we know of, anyway.
I'm going to call it 2
No, I
that you
think
know
you
of.
know that the vampire
Yeah.
Well,
is still alive.
I mean, no, he's still alive, but I mean that we could see at the moment.
Yes.
Is he alive though?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Pedantic.
Yeah. So he'll keep an eye out, just looking around at this point.
Okay. So, Billy, you're crouched next to this pinball machine. It's an original series Star Trek pinball machine. It's running, and every so often there's like the original series music starts playing. And you just happen to glance over because there's a little bit of movement next to you. And there's a rat. It's like climbing up out of the floorboard. And you're like, oh, I mean, that's not shocking. You're in an abandoned bowling alley. Until like another one comes up behind it. And you're like, your hand is up against the pinball machine as you're kind of like balancing yourself. You feel something skitter across it. You look and there's a cockroach. And just kind of this shudder overtakes you, and you just flip it away. And you notice some more cockroaches scurry out from underneath it. Peter, you notice as several large, like, millipedes, like the big, black, kind of windy ones. Remember, if you ever need to be like Jeremy,
Oh no,
shut
you
up.
can go for it.
Okay.
I personally just don't like bugs. Feel free, creep me out. I just like feel it crawling on me.
They appear near you, like you're not totally sure where you may have heard some chewing just a moment ago. And they kind of come up through the floor, and maybe they were in the shoe return. One of them like knocks over a pair of shoes.
That's a really big one.
Yeah, they're pretty hefty. Mari, as you're standing there, you notice climbing out of the ball return behind the woman who's running towards you. Several large rats are kind of swarming out towards more into the shadows beyond where you are. You're in this like kind of brightly lit, if with odd colors, area. Nothing seems to be heading towards you, and then you glance over your shoulder and you can see their glittering eyes in the various lanes behind you as rats have kind of bunched up.
I get
And-
the sense this is because of the stupid vampire.
No
way.
It's probably not it's probably unrelated completely. It's just bad hygiene from
Can I feel that cold presence at all?
There's definitely a chill to the air, but it has faded since you got further away from the back. So I will say that you can feel it, but it's not as strong as it was. And Ray, as you're running towards the end of this ramp that you're on, you notice some of the wall next to you. It's on your right. There's construction over there. They were building like an add-on to this building that had like laser tag and glow golf or something. And some rats kind of pour out from a hole in the wall there. There's like some plastic sheeting that had covered it that they've chewed through, and they plop onto the ground in front of you. And as this vermin just begins to fill this space with each of you, we're going to go to break. And we will be back in...
Glad I'm in a bright spot.
Right? We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. So hang out. Thanks for watching, everybody. And we will see you in a few. Bye. Welcome back, everybody. Mari, the disco ball smashes into the floor in front of you, rats pouring off the top of it.
Oh. Like
Ray.
In front of, like between me and the person that's running
Yes.
towards me? Okay.
Ray, those rats that hit the floor in front of you scatter about, some heading towards you, some heading off in all directions. You notice bits of shadow leaking from them. What do you do?
From the rats?
Yeah.
Just some run-of-the-mill shadow rats, that's all.
This run-of-the-mill shadow rats. Yeah, so look, watch out for the rats. I think the vampire might be coming out. I'm not sure. Don't know how these things work. I stabbed it. Mari kicked it, hit it, and it disappeared.
Why? Why?
Jason!
it disappeared. Now I'm seeing the shadows. Shadows are leaking off the rats. Just be wary. Stay on your toes. Oh man. It's my turn, right? I can shoot after the ghoul.
Yeah. So there's the one that's the only one you see moving and standing at this point is the one that apparently has a knife sticking out of her hand and is running towards Mari.
Am I at an angle where I can shoot at it without worry of hitting?
Absolutely.
Mari? All
Yeah,
right,
she's
I'm gonna do
almost like directly parallel to you at this point, going down the bowling alley.
that. All right, I'm gonna do that
Lane.
then. So that's a firearms.
Dexterity firearms. Yep.
Dexterity firearms. Wow. That's great. That's amazing. That's 2 successes on 7 dice.
Oh, I thought you were completely going to annihilate her. However, she actually dodges out of the way.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rats.
Yeah. One squeaks at you and kind of runs over your foot, and you're like, and you like kick it out of like it reflex as you pull the trigger, and it just pulls it a little wide. Anything else?
I guess I'm gonna move more towards light. And so I'll move towards the ghoul and out of the shadow, but not try not to get like right up on her just in case someone else shoots at her.
Totally.
But I'm gonna try to head that way towards to see if I can either by the time my turn comes around, like cut her off or shoot again, but get a better shot and out of the shadow.
Perfect. Yeah, so you just like it's just like a half jump up onto the bowling lane. You start heading, not like running, but you're like moving across it, stepping further into the light, out of the shadow.
Yeah, and I'm looking around for that and just being wary for any cold spots or when that vamp shows back up.
Okay. Mari, this woman is screeching, yelling at you, running with her hand raised like she's going to slap you with the dagger
and there's a bunch
sticking.
of rats between us.
Yeah.
Correct? Mari is gonna make a running like little like acrobatics jump over the rats before moving into like a soccer slide to take out the legs of the woman that's running towards her, so that she'll like flip and fall and like slide through the rats down the bowling lane.
Totally. Okay. Let's call that. I almost
Could be
want to.
dexterity athletics.
I kind of want to call it dexterity athletics.
Okay.
And she's just doing her dex to get out of the way. Actually, no, she's going to try and slap you. So we're going to do this contested. You're rolling your.
I am sliding like down on the ground, so
Right.
she doesn't like. But yes.
So it's going to be her. I'm not even going to call this melee. This is brawl. Even though she has a dagger sticking out of her hand, she's just trying to slap you.
5 successes.
Completely beat her. 2 successes. As you slide towards her, like you're running towards her, and she like raises her hand, and she's like this look of satisfaction, like she thought you were going to run and she didn't want to have to hunt you down. And she goes to like swing at you, and you just hit the ground. Rats go flying off in all directions. You hit her legs. She just like, you hear the crunch behind you over the music as her face impacts off the ground. She's going to take damage from that. And you slide to the other side of her.
Yeah. Does she slide down the bowling alley at all?
I mean, you hear like a squeaking as her face kind of like rubs against it. She doesn't go far, but she does go a few more feet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in a position of light.
Okay. Do you stand back up, or are you staying on the ground?
Yeah. I just slide and like stand back up at the end of the slide.
Okay. Billy. There are several rats grouping up around you. They're just kind of looking at you at the moment. You hear this impact, and you glance over the pinball machine in time to see Mari stand back up. You don't see where this lady went, the only one that's still standing out there. And then you glance back over, and the rats are closer. What do you do?
I think Billy starts to break into an open run towards the front of the building, the entrance
Okay.
there. And he's just saying like, fuck it, I don't think we're prepared for this. Like, Pete, can you bring down the building or burn the place up, or we can't deal with this.
It's the only way to be sure.
I don't have any explosives, but I can make something.
I can burn the place.
All the pyros and explosive junkies in the building
I got
are like,
magnesium powder. I can burn the place.
me. You easily run around the arcade. Ahead of you, the doors stand unblocked. The night waiting on the other side. Are you running outside?
Yeah.
You hit the door, and it like easily crashes open, bounces off the wall, kind of like the hydraulic arm. You can hear it hiss as it like slowly starts closing behind you. It's like walking from a freezer into an oven. It is like still immensely hot out, and you didn't realize how fucking cold it was in there until you got out here. The movement is pretty much your turn. Is there anything that you want to know as far as, like, is there any information that I didn't give you that you would like to know?
Just if there's anything significant going on outside.
Rats.
Mari, Does your car have an
Yeah.
alarm?
Yeah.
Mari's car alarm's going off. But you don't see anyone.
I don't see anything by her car.
Uh-uh.
Oh my god.
I think I'd relay that over the radio, like,
Fair.
Mari, something's up with your car. But I think Billy's
Car?
basically just gonna stay by the door, you
Okay.
know, so he can duck back in if he's summoned. But I don't have enough bullets to shoot every freaking rat and centipede that this thing can pull out of the sewers.
Okay. On her turn, the woman that is left, you hear this scratching noise as she like puts both hands on the floor and pushes herself up, and that knife just like gouges a line as it slides because she can't quite get her hand down.
Man.
And just she winces and stands up. She turns around and looks at you, and there's just like rug burn down her face. Her nose is obviously broken. A line of blood is just pouring out of it. And she goes, "Yeah, bitch. I'm fuck you all." And she runs towards you again. She is going to try and stab you with your knife.
Yeah, I'm just. I want to. I mean. Yeah, she's just gonna, like, dodge. Like, try to do one of those things so that she just, like, runs right past her.
All right, so you'll do double dex against her strength brawl. Holy crap.
Bad.
Yeah, so bad.
3 successes.
1 success. She gets close and you just sidestep and you actually just kind of like raise your hand and tap her on the back, and she kind of stumbles forward, and everyone except for, everyone, because of your earpieces, hears her shriek of rage and just anger at Mari. That was the only familiar left. D is Peter, you see D is up there. He raises this gun to point at this woman. And then he just like drops it and he like shakes his head. He's like, "I'm going outside." And he like hops over the counter and runs out. The door slams open, Billy. You heard him announce it, so you're not surprised. And he steps out. That'll be the extent of his. Peter, what are you up to?
Yeah, so, the M80s that Peter normally carries in his backpack and the lighter fluid and stuff like that. So he's going to pull that out and try to make like an improvised explosive. It's not like damaging explosive, but more to spread fire in a large enough area.
So let's do. What do you usually roll for your ordnance?
Intelligence plus science.
Let's
to
do one
craft.
of those.
Yep. And I'll spend one to get one of the auto successes.
Sure.
Just in case. Well, glad I did. 4 successes.
Perfect. Yeah. It takes you a moment, and like your hands are maybe a little sweaty as you feel like this is taking too long, and there's this millipede that like winds around your leg, and it's one of those things that like still creeps you out because you can't feel it.
Oh yeah.
And so you watch it and you can't feel it, but you see it getting closer, and you like kind of you use your elbow to try and nudge it away, but it's still climbing up. But you do manage to create something that you think will definitely set fire to. As long as what you throw it as flammable, it should do the job.
Yeah, that's the next target, is figuring out where to throw it.
We're gonna call that your turn now.
Yep. Hey guys, we gotta get if we're gonna burn this place down, I'm gonna need a little help in here.
Putting in the wax. Oh, then again, it's probably not waxed anymore, is it? It's abandoned.
Well, if they've been using it, they've probably waxed it.
That's also true. Well,
At
then
least
they're
the
ghouls.
lane that they use.
Yeah, but they aren't they like enhanced, so they could just be throwing that shit down there.
Well, the humans aren't. The vampires are.
Well, the ghouls, yeah, but
Well, but some of these ghouls haven't seemed enhanced. Most of these ghouls have not seemed enhanced. So.
I mean, bro probably is. But anyway, yeah. The wax on the lanes, I think, is flammable. Don't quote me on that.
Well, I mean, the lanes are wood.
They're wood
so
too,
they're
right?
Flammable.
And they have oil and stuff in the.
And just the fumes that have built up in those shoes over the years.
The rats.
The rats.
Well, and I mean, they have the sprays
right
to sanitize the shoes. Those will explode.
So
real good.
The only people still left in the building are Mari and Peter and Ray. Peter, you look up.
Yep.
There's like some sweat runs into your eye because this millipede is just freaking you out. You look up and you wipe the sweat out of your eye. It stings a little bit, and you think for a moment that it is like the blurriness of your eye that you're seeing. Mari, you, out of the corner of your eye, can see Ray heading towards you. And there's something bigger moving behind him. And you just glance over, and the shadow is just like a wall of tendril shadow is just surging forward from the construction zone next door, or that's attached to the building, and it coalesces, it condenses, and this vampire reappears. Its longer arm reaching out for Ray, who doesn't see it coming. But Ray, you can feel this icy wave wash over you from behind. So I am going to give you a dex check to try and dodge this.
Just dex, right?
Just dex. So it'll be double dex, so roll your
double dex.
Double your dice.
I want to take I'm gonna take that auto success.
Right.
Yeah.
That I had. Yeah, I'm gonna take the one I had.
Yep. Thank you, Miko.
Thank you, Miko. And I lost the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 successes.
Nice.
Yep.
Mar, you can see it's almost on him. In fact, it's hard to tell, gauging the distance as this thing like shimmers into existence behind him. And just at the last moment, Ray drops like you called out, and the hand swipes over him. Ray, what do you do?
So yeah, I drop. I say duck. I drop combat roll forward, turn around, and I just let it rip. I gotta. I just lay into him with as many shots as I can with the that good old 9mm.
Okay.
And that's what, firearms dexterity, right?
It is.
That's...
Rather than dodging, he's going to try and retaliate.
We're looking for 6s, right?
Yeah, 6 or higher.
That sucks. 3 successes.
Not as good as I was expecting you to do. However, exactly what you needed for neither of you to do anything. As the two of you start firing, and it swipes at you, but like seems to move preternaturally around the bullets that you fire. However, it's because you fired it, like you shot at it, its swipe went wide. So you You both got the same result,
Are you gonna keep moving away,
right?
or do you now stood to face it?
So I think it's just gonna keep following me. So I'm gonna try to make way toward because now it's me, vampire, ghoul, Mari, and if I jump over and leave, it's vampire, ghoul, Mari. So I kind of I'll motion away, but not leave the immediate area.
Okay. Mari, you've been able to see this the closest. Its face is just a mask of hunger and crazed need as it's lunging towards Ray. You've seen vampires like want to feed before, but you've never seen them go quite so batshit. What do you do?
So it seems like very like kind of focused on Ray.
Yes.
How's the ghoul woman?
I mean, she's angry at you very much. She is very, very messed up. Does not look healthy. And likely will not take much more to put down from your experience with ghouls previously.
Yeah, so I think Amari, she's gonna just make sure that this woman can't like stab her in the back. So is just gonna go for like a full elbow, like across the gut as she turns to move towards Ray and the vampire.
Kind of a immobilizing.
Yeah, like knockout.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So she'll, as she sees it coming, she's going to try and meet your elbow with her hand that has the dagger stuck in it, or the throwing knife. However, the dice hate me.
Yeah, that's 3 successes.
Against my one, you easily crack into her midriff. You hear the air just like forced out of her lungs. She hits the ground, rasping, and is just kind of like shuddering there. You're not sure if she's unconscious, but she's not moving.
Great.
Of her own volition
so Mari
right now.
does like that full elbow and doesn't even really pay attention as she's already moving to get up towards where Ray and the vampire are.
Okay. Are you...
But like to the side.
Okay. That was my next question. Thanks, Raven, for the advantage for me. I appreciate it. As you move up, Billy outside, Mari's car alarm is going off. Dee looks completely flustered, like shaken is really the best word for it. What are you doing?
So I wanna kill two birds with one stone. I want to get ready for us all to fuck right on off, and I want to get Dee's head back in the game. I figure that getting a car up and running is just normal enough that he might be able to handle it.
Yeah.
So I'm basically going to grab him and be like, yo, we need to get the ride going. Come on, come with me. Let's get set up. They're going to be out soon.
Just do a manipulation, leadership or persuasion, kind of depending on how you feel like it leans into it.
Okay.
And also thank you, Miko, for the advantage for me.
I have a quick question about the vampire.
Absolutely. While the dice are rolling, go for it.
Is he wearing clothes? And
He
do these
is.
clothes have like folds or pockets?
His button down does have like a single pocket on the breast, and the slacks that he's wearing appear to have just pants pockets.
Great.
This entire time, I was thinking he was butt naked.
Remember, he had the rotting clothes.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
like
but the pockets was the important question. for
deformed
me.
like Resident Evil style. That's what I was thinking the entire time. It was grin. Oh,
Nice.
fucked up. But all right.
What did you get, Billy?
2 successes.
2 successes. He's still a little dazed, but you say that he just kind of like looks at you. Right. And he puts his hand in his pocket, and you can hear the jingle of keys as he heads towards the SUV. Go ahead and make a wits perception for me.
Perception. I feel like a dummy. I'm having a hell of a time finding perception.
It's awareness.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's
awareness.
Awareness, thank you.
D&D just bled back into this game. Shocking. Oh, Peter gets a advantage. Billy gets an advantage. I see the
4
wave of
successes
advantages
on
coming
the,
in.
With perception and or
Nice.
awareness.
As you watch, you notice there's like 2 teenagers that are kind of scurrying away from the area. One of them has a long, thin metal rod in his hand.
Trying to break into my car.
Does it look like a Slim Jim?
Yeah, it looks like a Slim Jim.
I imagine that Billy is probably pretty familiar with that particular tool from
Totally.
his time on the force.
So as you kind of have guided D that direction, you notice this movement, and you realize how Mari's car has probably had the alarm set off. Is that everything?
Yeah, I'm sort of going with D, just to encourage him, back him up, and make sure it gets done right.
Okay. As you are doing that, you hear a squeaking noise. You kind of glance back at the building. And on the roof, you see a couple rats are moving their way across, kind of eyeing you, but staying on the roof, squeaking every so often. A bat flies over. That was weird. Inside,
I think it's Peter's turn.
Peter.
Because D is outside.
Yep.
You don't really see it coming because it's been there and hasn't like done anything except for like twist around your leg. But that millipede is going to essentially attempt to hurt you.
Okay.
What do you think you would do to attempt to stop that?
Holy shit! Get off! Get off! Get off!
So do we want to call it a brawl, like a athletics brawl?
Athletics brawl?
Yeah.
Or I mean, okay.
Or sorry, strength brawl
Okay.
against its brawl.
No successes.
Oh, wow. I got 1, so I was completely not expecting that. You're going to take 2 points of damage as, like, you don't feel it, but all of a sudden, like, you feel sick to your stomach. Like, you have taken damage. Parts of your body have been injured, but you can't actually feel the pain.
Yeah.
Mari, those rats that are all around you, and Sid.
Are they still around me? Because I moved
Sorry.
towards Ray and the vampire.
All around you in the way that they're
Okay.
kind of spread
Gotcha.
around. Yeah. The ones that are closest to the ghoul, the woman, kind of clamber over her and are heading towards you.
Mm-hmm.
As they get to you, they begin to like try and scurry up your legs, bite your ankles.
Oh, I'm definitely trying to stomp them before
Okay.
they can even come up my legs.
So you're gonna do a strength brawl against their strength. Actually, I'm going to call theirs Dex brawl. So they
Yeah,
actually
that's fine.
they actually get a chance here.
4 successes.
They got 3 successes. I felt so happy for the rats. So not only do you manage to swat them away, but you crush several of them in your kind of like little dance of
They're
destruction.
like combat boots. They're
Right.
beefy combat boots.
Sid, Ray, you can see this happening, and the rats seem to be leaving you alone. They seem to be focusing on Mari.
And Mari is looking at you and telling you to run and get the fuck out of here.
So that's all of them. Dee's outside. He gets in the SUV. Billy, you hear it start up. He cranks the AC back on. Peter.
Yep.
What do you do?
So this vampire's coming after Ray. Does it seem like it's doing, like, is it intelligent? Is it acting feral?
It seems pretty feral.
Okay.
It is just very singularly focused on Ray.
Okay. So Peter's going to drag that lady that's knocked out up onto the chair and start rolling forward
Gotcha.
towards the vampire. Hey, asshole, you hungry? And he will cut her throat
Gotcha. I'm not even
to try to
yeah,
distract.
she's immobile. Don't even need to roll for it.
Yeah.
Um,
And just kind of roll it off towards him, hoping to get his
she's
attention.
like, this is the one that you knocked unconscious.
Yep.
So she's still alive, and her blood flows freely. Just kind of as you head down, you actually get to like a set of 3 steps that go down to the actual bowling lane, and so you just kind of stop there, and you do this, and you just like hurl her forward. She hits the ground and just sprays blood. The vampire doesn't even flinch, which is weird.
Okay.
Like, there's a free meal right here. We're gonna call that your
This is
turn.
an expensive meal. You don't know what he's about to pay for this.
The vampire So those of you who are in the building see the shadow that's on the edge of the bowling lanes begin to move forward. The lights not going out. You can still see their filaments burning. You can see the rotating party light that's like lighting up in different colors. But it's like their light isn't reaching beyond themselves. Very faint reflections on each of your skin are the only thing that lets you see that you are still near each other. And the vampire disappears as it's swallowed by this darkness.
So it's in the darkness?
It is in the darkness, or you think it is. Like, you don't see it, you don't hear it. That cold is still there. Ray, what do you do?
You're not making a great argument for they know where it is.
My turn? Me?
Yeah, so Ray, what do you do?
Is my hand still bleeding? For when I punched that lady?
I would say it's scabby.
Well, time to open that bad boy up. Yeah, so I kind of cut my hand and spread blood on Stefania. And then I'm gonna start motioning towards the exit, but I'm going to. I don't know if I can do this. Can I do this? I want to start motioning towards the exit, but hold an action for when that vampire appears to stab him with the blood soap, Stefania.
Totally. So, Mari, you can see this like shadow within a shadow of Ray kind of gesturing to go for the exit.
Yeah, I'm just yell out. Yeah, I think it's time for us to move. Let's get out of here.
And
And Ray moves towards the exit as well.
yeah.
okay. Do you follow?
Does the shadow follow him?
The shadow's just kind of all encompassing right at the moment. Like it is filled the area you're in.
Great. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to like move in the direction that Ray is going. The action that I would like to hold, because I'll only just do a regular movement, is I'm gonna take out the magnesium powder that I have, and I'm going to have like unscrewed the screw top a little bit so that I can try to put an open vial in his pocket. Try and slip it in his pocket when he appears.
Gotcha. Okay. So as the two of you, are you just full bore running, or are you like creeping, or somewhere in between?
Somewhere in between. Yeah, I'm like making motion because I want him. Basically, the same thing that happened earlier, where he appeared and tried to, swipe, and I, dodged it. So I just want to make it seem like I'm running away to lull him into my well-placed trap.
Okay.
And I am following Ray because I've seen how focused he is on him and trying to use that focus as an opportunity to slip this powder on him.
Perfect. Outside, Billy, the sweat has like popped out and is just like pouring at this point. It is ridiculously hot out here. And those rats are just, they're watching you. You know they are. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna harass my teammates. Yo, what the fuck are you doing in there? Get on out here.
As you start talking, you kind of glance at the glass doors and you notice that the light that you had seen earlier, that, the party lights and the black lights and everything that were illuminating the bowling alley section, it's just dark inside now. It looks like they're closed. I mean, obviously it looks like they're closed, but you know what I mean.
I don't believe for a minute this fight is going your way. Get your ass out here before I leave without you.
Tell that to fucking Ray.
I mean, you heard me yelling, "Get off! Get off! Get off!"
We're making it work. Coming out now. I don't know. We're on the way.
In the darkness, you're at the edge of it, Peter, but you're still like within it. You lose sight of that millipede.
Oh yeah.
You start to feel something on your shoulder, and then you feel something on your other shoulder, and fur brushes up against you as something screeches in your ear. Do a dex. Double dex.
All right. That's one success.
You're going to take 1 point of damage as a rat bites you.
Okay.
You should get out of here, Peter. How hurt are you?
Well, how does the rounding down work on that one?
Sorry, how does what?
The rounding down.
Oh. How does the rounding down work on that one? I'm not 100% sure. You look at that.
Well, it's half rounded up, so you take
Okay.
one.
Okay. Yeah, it just says which is halved as usual for superficial.
Yeah, it's in tracking damage. It says superficial damage in half, rounded up.
Okay. Hey, Peter's decently hurt,
Bill,
but he's focused.
Bill, you hear the screeching of rubber as D slams it into reverse and just pulls the SUV up at rapid speed up to the door, slams on the brakes, gets out and opens all the doors, and is just like preparing for everyone to come out and get in the vehicle. Peter, what are you doing?
Yeah, so he can't see Ray anymore, correct? From due to the darkness?
You see forms moving around out there, vague glints of like reflections off of skin and clothing, but you're not 100% sure who is who.
Okay.
You did hear Mari say, "Run."
Yeah,
Yep.
you also heard Ray say, "Let's get out of here, light this shit up. Go, go,
Well-
go."
That's what he's planning on doing, is lighting this shit up. So he will light the M80 and throw it away from where Ray was.
Okay. So as you're
He's a little bit of a moral dilemma because, he knows the thing's following Ray and he'd like to hit it, but...
So as you're facing the bowling alley, you're like at these steps that go down into it. You know that Ray and Mari were, probably 20, 25 feet out. The vampire was out there somewhere with them. There were rats and other creatures moving around.
Yep.
Are you throwing it like at the bowling alley, or are you like off to the side, or...
I think into the bowling alley because that's where we think the most flammable part was.
Okay.
So we're trying to, I'm just trying to make as big a fire as possible. Hopefully it's, screws with the vampire some. I don't know.
So just do a strength athletics for the throw.
Okay. I will spend 1 on this one just to at least get a success. 2 successes.
Nice. The darkness retreats somewhat from this flame as it erupts. It's to your right, Mari and Ray, as you're running closer to the new construction where the thing had reemerged.
Is it within stabbing distance?
The fire?
No.
He was telling us where the fire was.
No. Oh, the fire is to the right. I thought.
Yes.
You said
Yes.
the shadows dissipated. It's to the right. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
Oh, it's over
Totally.
there. Okay. That's my
So
bad.
the fire that that Peter has caused erupts to your right. It doesn't push the darkness back, but it is much clearer to you than like the electric lights and everything. As you run... Quick question, Peter, are you staying where you are, or are you going to retreat some?
At this point, I'm starting to try to get out of here.
The flash of light from your explosive does reveal that millipede is still wrapped hardly around your leg as you begin wheeling towards the front door. Ray. In the darkness, the cold becomes bitter, like teeth chatteringly bitter. And this form coalesces in the shadow around you. You wanted to try and stab it, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're going to do a strength melee.
I want to slip something in its pocket.
That's 1, 2, 4. Oh no. That's lost forever. I want to just one more of those auto successes just to add to my chances.
Sure.
And that is 3, 4 successes.
4. So, Jason, I also used an auto success,
Okay.
giving me one more success than Sid got. Your knife swipes forward, and you feel it hit something, until you realize it's not so much that it hits something as the creature has grabbed your arm and is like beginning to twist it. You're going to take 2 points of damage.
Ooh.
As you feel like your bones start to strain, almost
Aggravated?
break. It is not quite aggravated. We didn't go full on shattering bone on that one. But
So
you
cut
could
it in half then.
right, it's much more and it will break. However, Mari was also right there and would like to give this
Slips
vampire a
some
little present.
magnesium powder in his pocket.
Yeah. Do a
Dex stealth.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use the success that Miko gave, the auto success that Miko gave me.
Okay.
That's 5 successes.
Okay. And so I am going to do an awareness wits against that to see if he notices. I am also going to use one of the auto successes that I have.
Do I have any kind of like advantage because he's like super focused on Ray?
It doesn't matter because the auto success is the only success I got.
Oh no!
Hey,
Oh man.
couldn't have got that earlier.
Right?
Mari is now like desperately just yelling, "Run! Run! Run!"
Well, kind of can't do that anymore.
Now, is this the kind that when it hits air, it begins to
No,
burn?
this is water.
Water.
So
Okay.
like I always have like
Now you
bottled-
pull your super soaker
bottled
out?
water. No, it's just a bottled water, like because I drink it and stuff. But I
Totally.
can like throw it on him.
I just think it would be adorable if you just like have always you
I
have like
thought
a
about
super
the fact
soaker,
that like, what if I just had like a spray bottle that's just like hooked on my utility belt?
right? You actually use it for your cats, but you just happen to carry it with you.
Well, sometimes it's filled with holy water.
That's fair.
It's
I
always
like it.
filled with holy water.
I thought kerosene was better in the super soaker in general.
Also fair. All right, so the
Anyways,
magnesium
it's on
has
our list now.
successfully been
Spray
placed.
bottles filled with flammable liquids.
So that was its turn,
Yeah.
and your reactions bringing it to Ray's turn. So Ray, what do you do? Ray's given up on life.
Oh, me?
It's your turn.
I thought my turn was already.
No, so yeah, that was your
No, that was your held action.
Yeah.
That was your
Yeah,
reaction.
Yeah, forgot. So yeah, he got me. He got me doing it.
He's got a hold of you.
He's got a hold.
You can try and get out. And run. That's what you should do.
Is what I should do. Which hand is he holding?
You're right.
Right. So okay, that's the thrusted hand. So I'm assuming the left hand is what's cut.
Sure.
I'm gonna do a thing.
Do a thing.
Shoot Lee. Good thing.
So I'm gonna take that bloody hand, right? And I'm gonna punch him in the mouth. Well, less than punch him in the mouth. I'm gonna aim for the back of his neck through the front.
Through the front, right? Through the entrance
so-
hole.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. get some blood up in there.
Okay. Let's
You
call
hungry?
that.
And I just
Let's call it a strength brawl.
strength. Uh-ohs. Strength. Brawl. All right. Here goes everything. Can I get one more of those auto successes?
Sure.
Pretty please. Ha! And that is A 1, a 2, a 3. 5 successes.
Nice. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to decide what his instinctual reaction is because he really wants to eat you. Therefore, he doesn't necessarily want to stop you from sticking your hand in his mouth. Therefore, he's going to bite back. So let's do...
You got for me.
He's going to do a strength brawl against your 5. Does not make it. So your hand goes into his mouth.
I grab his tongue.
Like, even though there's just this massive teeth that just kind of jut forward and out at you, excuse me, you manage to, like, just aim right so you don't cut yourself and he doesn't bite you more.
Well, I assume that I'm trying to get blood in there, so I get a few cuts and scrapes in, get some more blood in there. So that'd be great.
But like him biting your hand off is probably bad.
No, we don't want that.
I was like, please don't keep your hand in there. It's fine that you put your hand in the mouth, but don't keep it in the mouth.
I grab his tongue. I grab like the back of his tongue and just pull it.
So Mari, you see the shadows kind of convulse as this happens, and they pull back for a moment, not fully, but it's like there was a shocking moment of somebody sticking their hand in his mouth and his control wavered, and then they kind of spring back.
Did he let go? Is Ray still attached to
that is
the
a good question. Let's find out.
Because it'll be very important for my next actions.
Okay. I rolled a no butt, so he's not let go, but it does look like his grip has shifted and isn't twisting Ray's thrusting arm quite as oddly. You don't like feel like it's about to break.
But he's still holding. Okay, I guess my question is, with the grip, does it look like it's a loose enough grip that if I started pulling Ray out of there,
quite possibly, yes.
Be pulled. Okay.
And it is your turn.
Great. Yeah, I'm going to move and put myself between the vampire and Sid, or Ray. Sorry, Sid's the player. I'm gonna throw some water on him towards the pocket, and then I'm gonna start pulling the Ray the fuck out of there.
Sure. So
if you're still holding on the tongue, like, that's on you, but she's trying to pull you out of there after she tossed some water.
Hey, if I get a souvenir out of this, I'm all happy about it.
But you also know that she has the magnesium powder, and because that was part of our setup discussions about what we had, and she's fully. And if she just threw water on a vampire, it's likely for that.
So there'll be a bit of there'll be some contests going on here. Yes. We need to clarify, Sid, are you letting go, or is this a contested that you also need to take part in?
Get up out of here.
Okay. So you're going to auto fail as Mari tries to do this. So let's do Dex Brawl for Mari.
Okay. Can I add fucking up vampires for my brawl?
Absolutely.
Great. I'm gonna take one of those auto successes too.
Yeah. Okay. Get him up in there.
Okay. 8 successes.
Ooh. Pretty.
I had an auto crit plus an extra. I had a crit plus extra.
So
crit him up.
Hang on, I gotta look at something. Do.
No worries.
Okay. So as you
light his pocket on fire. Really hot.
In the shadow.
Very hot fire.
Ray, you feel Mari push in between you, and your eyes look down, you focus, you can see the faint reflection of light on her, and suddenly you're being pushed away. There's a scraping. Make a athletics strength check for me. Ray.
Athletic strength.
I thought that was Mari. I'm sorry.
No.
You're trying to hold on to his tongue.
Oh,
Now, are you gonna get a song or not?
athletics. Oh, that's one success.
Not quite enough. It's just too slippery. But there's a scraping sensation as your arm is drug out of his mouth. You hold on to the tongue you're like, oh, here it comes, here it goes. Oh, you lost it. And then you're being pushed away as you see this light begins to dance across like the midriff of this vampire, kind of down in his pants. Like some sparks.
Oh, Mara, think he's happy to see us.
And then
Yeah, real happy.
silver fire just like kind of erupts out of his pocket, licking up his side. In howling agony, this vampire bursts into flames. Is there any additional damage to that weapon?
To magnesium, I
Yeah.
think we said that it does like extra fire damage because it burns so hot. But I don't remember if we talked about how much it does.
We're gonna look
you
up.
were gonna think on how much extra.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. The two of you begin to flee. Is there anything that you wanted to do between here and the door?
I mean, unless the vampire catches up to us, no. But I am sticking with Ray.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Ray, is there anything that you wanted to do between here and the door?
I was really trying to see if that, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Just want to see if I catch a glimpse of anything additional happening besides, that magnesium flaring with the blood and what's not. The whole reason we came here.
Right. Peter.
Yeah, well, you avoided it all in the beginning, and then we got shit out of luck.
It got weird.
It got weird. He has like 47 extra teeth. What do you want me to do?
And half our party is gone, so we're leaving.
Right.
Exactly.
Peter, you are head for the door, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Peter, you're heading for the door. The shadow, you just like roll out of the shadow. Like there's definitely like an edge to it that you hit. Outside is dark as you're heading towards the doors. And then you just hear this horrendous screaming, howling, painful roar. You glance back and the shadows are like jittering, they're shuddering, they're dancing around, contracting and expanding out from this vampire. And you just see like Mari and sorry, I almost said Sid again. Ray just like hauling ass. There's some blood dripping from Ray's arm. And I feel like you might have like the tip. Just the tip of his tongue.
Yeah, all you need is a tip.
Got a little pinch.
Right?
Got a little tongue under the fingernails.
Peter, they hit your wheelchair and they just like propel you out the door. The three of you slam into it. Rats are like running away from the building at this point. You see bats in the sky kind of circling madly to this weird screaming noise that's coming from inside. As the two of you were heading towards Peter, you noticed that fire was licking up the wall on one side. Until now, its brightness wasn't that noticeable. The shadow was pushing it down, but from outside it is rapidly working its way through not only the bowling alley but the addition that was being built onto it. And then there's quiet except for the growing sound of the fire. What do you all do?
As soon as I'm getting out, I'm still trying to rip that millipede off and get it off of me, if it's still there.
As soon as you
just
leave
chop
the
it with
shadow,
stuff on you.
actually, it kind of shrieks and loosens. You don't
Okay.
feel it, but it like you can see it loosen, and then it just kind of like falls off. And once it like rights itself, it skitters
chop
off
it.
into the night.
Just chop it.
And then
Oh, yeah.
and then Ray runs after, and it's just like, The SUV is waiting, the engine running. Mari's car alarm is going off. The van is sitting silently. Didn't you all bring separate vehicles? So like
Yeah.
all of your
We have
cars are
3
there.
vehicles. We have the SUV, the van, and Mari's car.
Okay. So what do you all do?
I'm yelling at him, "Don't go home. We'll talk on the phone shortly." As he rolls to his van and gets in as fast as he can, which is not relatively fast.
Pete,
Yeah,
are
Mari
you even
will,
okay to
like,
drive?
slide
You don't
across-
look good.
I got to get out of here at least. Yeah.
Fuck that noise. Get in.
I can't leave the vehicle, man. Not with this stuff.
I'll drive it. Yeah, whatever. Hop
Yeah,
in.
Mari is like sliding across the hood of the SUV and moving towards her car. Like she already has her keys in her hand and is turning off the alarm and is going into her car.
Yeah, I hop in.
She's not leaving like it's her car. It's registered in her name. She's not
Yeah,
leaving that
I
here with
hop
the
in.
building burning down.
Exactly.
I hop in Peter's car van. Yeah, you can drive. Let's just get out of here.
All
What's
right.
Billy doing?
I'm not arguing it at the moment, but we're not going back to my place.
I don't know where you live.
Billy's got a shotgun with D in the SUV.
Okay. Yeah. Dee's just like standing there staring at all the open doors, shuts them. Billy gets in. As you all drive off into the night,
Maybe if we hadn't burnt
Sirens.
down a building, we would have gotten that car.
Yeah.
but-
right? Sirens begin to blare and some fire trucks go by you as you're like further down the road for sure. In the distance behind you, you can see this conflagration of fire consuming the bowling alley. That sense of cold is gone. Where is Ray?
He's driving my van at the moment.
Are you in the car with him?
Yeah.
As you head into the night, wherever your destinations may be, you glance over at Ray and you notice there's this glow to his eyes that you hadn't seen before. Just this soft, pale brown glow. And he glances over at you, just looking at you for a moment, and then his eyes go back to the road. And you swear you see a sigil carved into the iris, or the iris of his eye before it fades away and his eyes return to normal. You notice the blood on his arm is gone. And that's where we're going to call it tonight. Hey!
Got to light another vampire on fire. First time was spraying alcohol
Excuse me.
out of my mouth, and this time was doing Wicked
Right?
Witch of the West.
Did anyone
Threw
used to
some
watch
water on him and he melted.
Animaniacs?
Yeah.
Peter came through for me. I asked him to bring the building down, and goddamn if he didn't deliver.
Right? I feel like it was definitely a joint effort. Like the pyre that was the vampire definitely helped, but in time, Peter's fire also would have done it. But your powers combined form Captain Pyromaniac. I feel
Property
like
damage.
Look,
I
Mari may not be into bombs, but she sure likes fire.
right.
Yep.
I was going to shoot that one lady on the way out just as a mercy kill so she didn't burn to death, but didn't take the time.
What's the worst? She's gonna
Yeah.
wake up while she's unconscious and be bound and not be able to leave and oh yeah, that's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
All right, well on that note, hey, does anyone have things coming up they want to announce before we raid over to another channel and call it for the night?
I am really excited about the Waste Wander game that we have coming up in just a week.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next Saturday.
If you're around, look to see me there.
Next Saturday at 8 p.m. Tune in for Waste Walkers by Fari RPGs. It's going to be awesome.
Don't you have one Monday, Carly?
Yeah, I have a game playing on a channel called Hit Points Not Required. All charity games, but we were on a passenger ship and now we're stranded on a lifeboat. We'll see what happens.
Did you hit an iceberg?
I don't know. But I'm playing the super super great Nepo baby, you know, the person that is not great and has kind of a bad track record, but got on this ship with this job because their dad forced them to and wants them to try and learn responsibility. And so now this is the person that is stuck in the lifeboat
Nice.
with somebody.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I'm excited about that. Plus Daggerheart on Fridays.
Next Friday,
Looking forward
join
to
us
it.
for some Daggerheart. Now every Friday, our limited series has become an ongoing series until we get to an end. What that end looks
Well, they
like,
all die.
we haven't, or we all die.
I mean, that's
Also,
an end,
right?
not the end we want.
Definitely an end. Yeah.
2 of the players here perished in that game, so
This is true. 2 of them did.
I prefer
sure-
to look at it as a noble sacrifice.
it's true. It's true. Make sure you head over and follow these fine people on their socials. You can also head over and follow me on my socials at WHPubs. Also head over to YouTube and follow us there as we were trying to hit our 500 follower mark. That'd be awesome. And then I think the only other thing that we haven't talked about is For the Horde of the Dragon Queen is our Wednesday D&D game. It is at 1 p.m. now in the afternoon Eastern here on the channel. It is the Tyranny of Dragon storyline, but played by the cultists instead of the heroes. It's all subjective, right? And then,
Villains are
as
the
chat
heroes of
says,
their own
thanks Raven,
story.
the Curseborn one-shot is on Halloween night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We know we're going to miss their Kickstarter by 6.5 hours, but you should go follow it anyway. Curseborn over on Kickstarter by Onyx Path. It's going to be awesome. If you like World of Darkness, such as this game, I have a feeling you're going to really enjoy Curseborn when it releases. You will get previews of the manuscript. They're releasing it to backers as the weeks go. You will actually get the full manuscript, the unedited, unplaytested, and non-art version at the end of the Kickstarter, so you can actually start playing right away. We're going to raid over to Little Bones because Little Bones is awesome. And we will see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of Hunter Bad Blood. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all next time. Bye.